Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, my friends, in this nice occasion, I would like to present our discussion regarding our individual reflection of the blind side movie. Our group contains of Kak Kirana, Nadhifa, Putri, me, myself, Dian, Anggoro, Pramesti, Utami, and then Sonia Rosalina, Rostania Dwi Nanda, and the first presenter is Kak Kirana. Okay, Kak Kirana, time is yours.
Thank you for the moderator. I want a presentation about self-awareness. As a teacher or tutor, Ms. Su has fulfilled self-competencies related to self-awareness in the ability to assess her own strength. In this scene, Michael looks like confident and doubts his own abilities. But Ms. Su convinced Michael that through Ms. Su's work, Michael would succeed in achieving the minimum score to be accepted at the university that offered Michael a scholarship. Ms. Yu believed because she had self-awareness that she had the strength and ability to guide Michael, and it was proven through Ms. Su, Michael managed to experience an increase in learning outcomes, managed to achieve the minimum score to get a scholarship and enter into the university that Michael chose. As a teacher or tutor, Ms. Yu has fulfilled self-competencies related to self-awareness in the ability to recognize the emotions that are being experienced. Someone who is feeling negative emotions and can recognize this emotion will find ways to deal with this negative emotion. It can be seen from Ms. Su's show facial expression holding back negative emotion, namely tired or dealing with Michael's attitude who was having difficulty doing assessment. To take Ms. Su's patient attitude, Ms. Su starts speaking in a soft voice saying, "Okay, let's check the reading list." And Ms. Su distanced herself for a moment saying, "Why don't you do this and I watch the football?" to Mr. Tuhai. This shows that Ms. Su is aware of the negative emotion and tries to find a way to deal with this negative emotion. Facing Michael's character who has erratic moods or mood that often change is not an easy thing. As a teacher or tutor, Ms. Su fulfills self-competence regarding self-awareness in maintaining emotional balance. By remaining patient and calm no matter what mood Michael is in. As a teacher or tutor, Ms. Su has fulfilled self-competence regarding self-awareness in maintaining emotion. Ms. Su was seen taking a deep breath when she wanted to motivate Michael, who has confused about making a choice. But Ms. Su patiently and calmly gave motivation to Michael. When Ms. Yu realized that she was tired of facing Michael, but she realized that as a tutor or teacher, she had a responsibility to guide Michael when she chose patience. Ms. Su is conscious and she doesn't choose to make negative response. The rest is about my experience, feeling, and action plan. For action plan, in my experience regarding self-awareness in maintaining emotional balance, I have also faced students who have difficulty doing assessment. I found several groups arguing with each other and scrambling to ask questions. I tried to give them understanding to return to their respective group. I would answer and provide right after the group I was with fishing finished. I feel happy when I success build closeness and good relationship by maintaining a balance of my emotion when interacting with students. It's about my feeling. I realized that at that time I felt tired of facing a student who argue and scramble to ask questions. But I realized that as a teacher I have responsibility to guide students. I choose to be patient and calm. I could have taken an angry response or taken other negative response, but I do not choose negative response in a conscious state. The last is about action plan. To improve my ability as a teacher, I want to increase my effort in maintaining emotional balance. I want to make students feel happy, safe, and comfortable learning or interacting with me. I will try to guide students, including students who have learning difficulties, and believe that whatever the strength and weakness of my students, they all have the opportunity to success. Whether it's about their future or their success, I learning achievement because I believe that every human being they are born different and have something special in them. Okay, I think enough from me. Back to moderator.
Okay, thank you, Kak Kirana. And then next presentation will be presented by me myself, and it's about my individual reflection about the Blind Side movie. So, as I watch the Blind Side movie, I found that Mrs. Xu has a good self-management skill, and we can see in this scene. This scene is running for approximately 1 minute, but it shows that Mrs. Xu has a good self-management skills. In this scene, Michael felt pessimistic that he couldn't finish the quiz that was given by Mrs. Xu. But instead of being upset, Mrs. Xu keep motivating Michael and also trusting Michael that he could do his best and also pass this situation. Then he will reach his goals. It is such a challenging task when we are asked to face the students with low academic record, as Michael is. So, but Mrs. Xu could get this situation successfully and make Michael success in achieving his goals. And then the next slide, please. After watching this movie, I feel motivated as I didn't have good self-management skills yet. For example, in class, I often lose my control when the students didn't hear my instruction or they keep being busy with themselves. And then my follow-up plan after watching Miss Yu's role in this movie, I will train myself to have a better self-management skills by following those 3 steps. The first one is stopping for a while. But when I face a difficult situation or unpleasant situation, I will stop for a while and I will not allow myself to be swept away by my current emotion. Then by stopping for a while, I will have the time to think logically and to think what action that I should take in responding those kind of situations. And then the next one is by having alternative responses. By having an alternative responses, I will have a various alternative actions that in responding the unpleasant situations, such as when the students keep being busy with themselves, and also when they when they don't want to listen my instructions. I will consider the pros and cons, and then the advantages and also the disadvantages of those alternative responses. And then from there, I can decide which alternative response is the most suitable in that situation. And then the third way is a scenario visualization, which means imagining and also anticipating various scenarios that might occur in the future, such as imagine an unpleasant situations happen and considering what response that I will take in responding those kind of situation. So that's all about my reflection. The next presentation will be delivered by Sonia Rosalina.
Okay, thank you for the moderator. Here is my individual reflection. So, in the sense that there is an issue that she considers that she is a Democrat. Mishu talking with Michael's mom that what makes urgent to find a private tutor to Michael, and his mother answer that Michael need a good grade to get the football scholarship. And also, Mishu talked to his mom that Mishu is a Democrat. As we know that in United States there is a two powerful party. There is the Democrat Party and also Republican Party. And without asking what the political party ideology that the Dwi family is, Mishu accept to be Michael's private tutor. So this is can see that Mishu confidently said, "I want to teach him and the sin." And in my experience, when I was in the sixth semester bachelor degree, I taught at a vocational training school that focused on hotel school. Of course, I teach English there. One day, I will teach speech material, and I will give them about several, yes, this one, tema. What I said to them is tema. And I'm quiet for a while, and I realized that my pronunciation is not right. So I recall my memories that my lecturer in college ever said this word, but in another way. So suddenly, I take my phone and I open the online dictionary, and after that, I heard about how the right way to say tema, and the right way is theme, not tema. But in my class, in several times I said tema, like for example, here's the tema that you can choose. Okay, so if I keep quiet, I mean that my student didn't realize that my pronunciation is wrong, but I have a responsibility. If they imitate what I say, of course it will be a fatal mistake in the future. So that's why I admit that I have to do a mistake for them, and I say sorry for my class, and I revise how to speak in the right way for the word theme, right? And about my feeling from my experience, I feel that I'm afraid if I make a mistake, because I have to do the best that I can do. However, I realized that naturally humans have limits and self-acceptance is important to do. So seeing what Mishu and I have done regarding tolerance and what I have done to have the courage to apologize when I do a mistake in class, to be honest, the social emotion competence that we show is a social awareness, where we try to build the ability to recognize and understand others people's emotions so that see others' perspective. Okay, so to increase social awareness or social awareness competence, I want to create meaningful learning in my class by applying social emotional learning so that my students have a warm and more positive relationship with others. Okay, next slide please. Okay, this is slide. This scene is showed the first time started the class between Mishu and Michael. The first impression given by Mishu is a very meaningful for Michael. When Michael said, "I don't understand," Mishu answered, You don't understand it yet." Okay, and she asked to Michael, "How big is your head, Michael?" Then Michael answered, "Big?" Okay. Mishu explained that the brain is full of knowledge, like a file cabinet with maps and shortcuts to figuring out things out. And Mishu also convinced Michael that you will get there, Michael, because I'm here to help you use those maps and reach your destination. Mishu supports Michael to reach his goals. Okay, in my experience, become a teacher at the vocational training school, where the school has a dormitory consisting of 3 floors. In the first floors, there is a receptionist and boys' bathroom. In the second floors, there are room prayers and girls' bathroom. And on the third floor, there are classrooms and girls' bathroom. One day, afternoon around 3 p.m., there were students who report to the receptionist that their roommate tried to suicide by trying a rope to the stair guard on the back balcony of the dormitory. At the time, my friend and I went straight to the second floor. Immediately, I see her crying in the room, and I hug her. And I asked her how was she's feeling, and she said scared. That day, I didn't ask too much because I know that the condition of the girl is not stable and she wants to get back in her hometown. And after that, I did discussion with the education teachers for calling her parents. So in the next day, I went back to her room and I saw that she was picking up her stuff because her parents were picking up her. I accompanied her and asked about what makes she scared. And you know what? With crying, she told me that she's feeling insecurity with her with her friends that have a good public speaking and good physical appearance. She thinks that she's a very low in public speaking ability, and she wants to suicide herself. And after I heard about the story, I'm crying, and I hug her again, and I told to her that everyone has strengths and weaknesses. And I said to her, if this is your dreams, you have to fight for it. No matter how difficult the way you have to go through. All of you are here together. You are still learning together with your friends to reach your goal. You shouldn't feel alone, because I'm ready to be a listener if you need or if you want to share about what you feel. I provide motivation and empathy for her about her condition, because she's feeling alone. And from my experience, I feel sad about the condition of my student. Yeah, I know everyone face their own problem and must be prepared to deal with the problem is. Saying what Mishu and I have done provide support and motivation to students, as well as good communication. The social emotional competence that we show is the relationship skills, where we try to establish and maintain healthy relationship with our students from different backgrounds. So, to improve relationship skill competence, I will change my point of view that every student has abilities and uniqueness in their respective field. As a teacher, I can't generalize. So, I want to improve my ability to be able to apply the 4S technique: supportive people, strategy, sagacity, solution-seeking behavior, and I'm still learning about this technique. So that's all about my self-reflection about this movie, and back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you so much for the chat, for the explanation, and then the next presentation will be presented by Rostania Dwi Nanda. The golden chance is yours.
Okay, thank you for the moderator. So here I would like to deliver my perception and my reflection related to Mishu. During her time as a tutor, we know Mishu try a various way or do the best to help Michael to achieve his goals and increase his GPA. And next slide please. Okay. You can see this scene. So how Mishu has to help Michael to write an essay as the last assignment from her teacher to increase his GPA. To make it easier for Michael, Mishu prepared various ways, even a material that related to something that Michael likes, so Michael can understand the material or understand what he wants to write well. So in the end, why Mishu have to prepare a lot of material? Because at the end, Michael can choose or decide what he wants to write in his essay, so he can reach a good grade or increase his GPA. In my own experience in the class, we know that in the class consists of so many students, and every student has their own ability. There are students who have a low, middle, and high ability in understanding the material. And as a teacher, I should teach them based on their ability, like what Miss Shu has done to Michael, like prepare a lot of materials and give him chance to choose the material that he likes. But however, because there are so many students in the class, sometimes I ended up giving them the same difficulties of the material of the assignments. Because to reach all the students in the class with their different abilities, I have to prepare a lot of materials, right? And I think it's a little bit make me like, tired to prepare a lot of things. So I end up with give them the same difficulties with their material. But even though I try to help them in the learning process to finish their assignment, after I watch what Miss Shu has done to Michael, I feel guilty because I think I'm not optimal to help them understand the material well. What Miss Shu has done to Michael, it shows how Miss Shu has a good responsible decision making. That's why I have a follow plan for myself. I want to improve my ability to develop the learning process that can accommodate all of the students, not even the high ability students, but only for all for low ability students. Such as I think I can make it by learn how to do a differential learning in the class, like how to prepare a material for a different ability or design assignment for the different ability also, like what Miss Shu has done to Michael, and that can also help students with low abilities, so they can follow the learning process. All of the students can follow the learning process, so they can achieve the learning goals. Like Michael can achieve the best GPA for him. I think that's all from me. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you so much for the explanation and the discussion. So it's the end of our presentation. Now I invite you to have a discussion session for those who want to ask and give suggestion are allowed.
Okay, thank you, Dian. Okay, firstly, we do appreciate and of course thank you for presenting your ideas clearly. But let me ask you a question first. Were you choose two scenes for one member or one scene for one member? The explanation. One scene for one member or two scenes for each member?
Not for each scenes, but we are decided to divide it into based on the social emotional competence.
Not the scenes,
yes, not the scenes, but in the social emotional competence. Then we try to find out in the scenes like this.
Okay, thank you, friends. So our comment is, of course, all of you honest enough because it is reflective activity. Of course, we have to be honest because all of you, I saw that all of you admit your mistakes in your class. And then the second one, maybe one thing that we need to underline is maybe the PPT about the appearance, especially some parts of your PPT maybe can be shortened. Yeah, because it's PPT, maybe it's PowerPoint. Yeah. So maybe the description can be short.
Okay. That's all. The suggestion. Okay. For another group maybe. I think that's all. This is the end of our discussion. Thank you so much for participating with us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.